Feel.
Steel Diver is a drastic departure from what you'd expect in a game made by Nintendo. The company that created countless franchises with an emphasis on accessibility has taken a sharp turn in the opposite direction, and that shift is not for the better. This side-scrolling submarine adventure teeters between simulation and action, with compromises on both sides leading to a flat experience. Sluggish Controls limit the fun you can have by blowing up rival ships and avoiding mines, and the game is too forgiving to capitalize on its simulation-style controls. Steel Diver is a short, easy, and disappointing launch game for Nintendo's newest handheld. There's a brief setup about a war taking place in the year 19XX, but the story is mostly ignored for the rest of the game. Instead of focusing on what your motivation is, you need to be concerned with staying alive. The 7 missions that make up the bulk of Steel Diver have you guiding your submarine through a series of dangerous undersea realms. You control your vertical depth with one slide and your horizontal movement with another, and it takes a bit of practice to balance these inputs so you can successfully cruise past underwater hazards unscathed. Once you get past the initial learning curve, Steel Diver is exceptionally easy. Your submarine can take a lot of damage, so even if you slam into rocks and get pelted by foreign torpedoes, you should still be able to stay afloat. When your health gets too low, you can momentarily resurface to go back up to full strength. Because there's little chance of dying in even the hardest levels, there's no tension, and Steel Diver subsequently becomes boring. The action elements suffer just as much. It might seem like engaging in sub-to-sub warfare would be exciting, but Steel Diver turns that explosive activity into a dull chore. Underwater controls take a while to react to your command, which means fights lack the immediacy of a great action game. This could have been good if you needed to employ smart tactics, but because the game is so easy, it can't even capitalize on that aspect. The bosses continue the trend of utter boredom. These giant foes are just as tedious as every other aspect of the game, and as long as you can line up a sure shot, you should dispatch even the toughest baddie without breaking a sweat. Steel Diver does look nice. The 3D effects make it feel as if you're peering into a tiny aquarium, and subtle effects such as bubbles surrounding torpedoes add to the realism. There's also a brief periscope challenge that takes place between missions, and it's fun shooting down enemy boats for the 30 seconds it takes to complete. But the majority of the game never takes advantage of the potential thrills of controlling a deep-sea craft. Steel Diver sets out from port brimming with confidence, but it sinks to the briny depths before it leaves the harbor.
Ship damage!